clear mind and happy heart, I welcome every one of us to Valley Community Church Divine Science and vccds.com if you choose to catch us later. We've done our joy song, so I need to introduce the people who are going to be responsible for the flow of our service. Our guest musician is Joy Truskowski. Our reader is going to... You don't have to. It's a very polite thing to do, but you don't have to do that. Thank you. Mr. Milan. Our reader is going to be Amy Jo Wheeler, but before she comes on, I have to ask all of you to turn off your electronic devices, the ringers and the tones, because they distract from the service. I would recommend that you put them on vibrate in case you have to absolutely have to take some important calls, which some of you might. Okay, and our speaker today is, of course, Dr. Maurita Wiggins, so we look forward to our service today. Amy Jo, if you'd like to come up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so this week I started reading Open Your Mind to Receive by Catherine Ponder. And this morning I was guided to, for this morning's reading, I was guided to turn to page 54. And it happens to be the beginning of a chapter. Your gift of nothing but the best. Releasing the old, speaking words for new good, and picturing it are all specific ways for opening your mind to receive. There's also a basic overall method for doing so. It is found in this popular jingle. Good, better, best. I will never let it rest until my good is better and my better is best. People have often been conditioned to expect less than the best, and to settle for less than the best in life. How many of us have done that? Part of this conditioning goes back to the erroneous belief about the nature of God and man and their relationship. If you've believed that God had a split personality of good and evil, and that man was a sinner and thereby limited in every way, then of course you've been conditioned to settle for less than the best in life. You didn't dare to claim anything more. But when we learn the unlimited truth about God's goodness and man's availability to it, this sets us free from such limited beliefs and from the limited results of such false beliefs. I found it worthwhile to declare often as I go about my day, nothing but the best. This helps me to open my mind to receive an overall way. Once while vacationing in an unfamiliar area with friends, we entered a crowded, noisy restaurant. Our first thought was whether we should remain and wait in line. Nothing but the best was our decision. Since this situation was not the best for us, we moved on. We quickly found a picturesque restaurant overlooking the water with quaint surroundings, excellent food, and attentive service. There was none of the noise or feeling of being crowded found in the previous restaurant. We would not have found and enjoyed this unusual place if we had settled for less than the best. And there's an affirmation I'll read to you, and if you feel inclined and it resonates with you, then we can read it together. Today and every day, I expect the best. Wonderful things are happening to me now. Everything I do turns into good for myself and others. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Today and every day, I expect the best.
Expect the best.
Wonderful
Wonderful
things
things
are happening to me now.
are happening to me now.
Everything I do
Everything I do
turns into good
turns into good
for myself and others.
for myself and others.
Okay, thank you.
Amy Jo, thank you so much. That was very effective. We are now going to sing our beginning hymn. The hymnals are beneath your seats. If you'd open them up to page or hymnal 46, we are going to do verses 1, 2, and 4. And the name is Come Ye Thankful People. I believe I've got that right. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 4, 46.
This morning I wanted to share a couple of verses with you. In Jeremiah 17:7, "Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is." And then another one, this one from Isaiah 42:16. If we trust in the Lord, Isaiah says, "I will bring the blind by a way they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked places straight." First we have to remember to trust. First we have to put our pride in our pocket and our assumption that we know it all and can do it all. That we put aside and know that the Lord knows so much better. And when we can place our trust in this infinite power, what does it say? and will bring the blind by a way they knew not. And aren't we blind about certain things? All of us. We can all be accused and found guilty of just having blind spots. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. In other words, better ways to do the same old things. I will make darkness light before them. Darkness. Yeah, there are lots of times when we don't know exactly what to do. We're confused about it. But the light comes. When we trust, that's the proviso, when we trust. And finally, the crooked things will become straight. Things that have been difficult in the past. We suddenly see in a new light, and we can walk with more freedom and with a sense that all is well. I trust God, and He's going to take care of it. He's going to show me the way. We keep thinking, at least some of us do, that we are one with all good. We are one with an omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent God. And oneness means exactly that. We are God walking and talking. With our own personalities laid on top of that, a thin veneer of personality and ego and experience. But God, this being His opportunity, through each of us. And as we realize that, then we know that all good has to come to us as we believe this, as we know this truth. Trust in the Lord. 4 words. Easy. Fall off your mouth, out of your mouth very, very quickly. Trust in the Lord. But when you do it, you're amazed at the results. You're impressed at the results, because it always results in far better than you could have imagined. Shall we say our divine science statement of being? You're found in your orders of service. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am the individualized expression of God, and am ever one with His perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Joy.
This is a song you know, so I invite you to sing along if you want. No pressure. But it's always, every time I come here and pick a song randomly, seemingly, it always ties into what's being said. So this is all about trust. And I invite Rick to join me if he wants, if you want, Rick. This is also a form of trust because we've never played this together before. I just told him what I was playing. So we'll see how it goes, but it'll be fun either way, even if I mess up, because you'll forgive me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm the one that embarrassed.
In times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. parted. People living in the world agree there will be an answer, let it be. And though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. There will be an answer, let it be.
We don't do it at any other time during our day, during our weeks. Right now, you just take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Just relax. Let the whole body be at ease. No tension. And simply be right now. Not a name, not a certain kind of work or identity. Not what your friends think of you. Not what you know about yourself. Just what God knows about you right now. What does He know of you? That you are His image and likeness. That you are wisdom and power and glory and love and truth. That you are life incarnate. That you are good and very good. that you are blessed and you are a blessing. Right now, we allow some of those ideas to sink into our consciousness and begin to identify ourselves by what God knows about us right now. Peace. The peace that passeth understanding. Trust. Because we know that our trust is well-founded. Beauty. Because we are beautiful. God made us thus. A blessing to all. This and so much more. Does this give us pride? Ego? No. No. It gives us gratitude. His image, His likeness, right where we are, irrespective of who or what we have done, how we have identified ourselves, the mistakes we've made, the things we've learned. Not important right now. Only what God has placed within us, shining forth. As Jesus said, a light, the light of the world. Let us spend the next 90 seconds both in contemplation of the truth of ourselves and the joy that that gives us, and gratitude to the author of the miracle that each one of us is. Come unto me, all ye who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Let us regularly remember what we are and rest. in the Lord, the law of life, active, expressing within each one of us at all times. Let us trust more and remember better that one invincible power that created us, loves us, supports, and helps us always. Amen. Shall we say the affirmative version of the Lord's Prayer together? Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed is thy name.
Thy kingdom is come.
Thy will is done on earth as it is in heaven. Thou givest us this day our daily bread. Thou forgivest us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Thou leadest us not into temptation, but dost deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Well, my talk this morning is entitled, Grateful for What? I want to start with the 100th Psalm, the 4th verse. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his holy name. And 1 Thessalonians 5:18. In everything give thanks. Well, it's coming Thursday. It's coming, isn't it? We're going to be celebrating one of our most beloved holidays, Thanksgiving. And it doesn't begin to be, praise the Lord, as commercialized as so many of the other church holidays. It's focused so much on family and friends and a wonderful holiday meal and the opportunity to just be together and indeed to still ourselves and be grateful for our many blessings. We can all point to those blessings and certainly give thanks for them. Certainly, those of us who look at our lives, I should say, through the eyes of the teachings of divine science, have such a sense of thankfulness when we remind ourselves of certain basic truths, and that is that God knows us, each one of us, to our very depths, and he loves us unconditionally. The love is not based on anything we think we are, what we've done, mistakes, hopes, dreams, nothing. It's based on what he knows he has created us to be. And the wonderful news is, not only has he created us in this way, but he has made himself available at all times and in all ways, whenever we turn to him. By itself, that's such an important reason to give thanks. Let's do it this coming Thursday. Now, we certainly don't give thanks because this has been a perfect year. Every one of us has had some difficult challenges. Some of us have had challenges that were frightening and painful. Some awful news came our way, shocking news. Sometimes it included grief. And sometimes we've had unpleasant encounters with people. There have been a lot of disappointments, perhaps, maybe at home, maybe at work, who knows. But life has taught us, most of us, that we do need to give thanks. Anyway, just as Paul said in 1 Thessalonians. We have to give thanks for all things. All? All? Yeah, all of them. Why? Why do we have to give thanks for everything? Because of what we've learned in our previous life experiences. As we look back, time and time again, our low moments have been grow moments. The worst thing that could have possibly happened, happened. The worst. And indeed, we might have temporarily just lost it. We might have felt hopeless and completely distraught. But time after time, those have turned out to be turning points in our lives, and they led, often to our great surprise, to positive endings, or to improvements, or to a new view of what was possible, to a new view of how things were turning out better than we expected. Or, if not that, we endured those difficulties and we discovered that we were so much stronger, more resilient than we ever thought we could be. We sort of pulled it out of the bottom of our boots and realized that, yeah, I can handle this. That awful experience actually became a gift. A gift because we learned so much more from it than we would just ordinary or even very happy experiences. We learn through shock and fear and pain sometimes, don't we? But so many times, and this is a good thing, so many times we have been driven to turn to God and to affirm and reaffirm that God the good is omnipresent. God the good is omnipresent. His good is right here in the midst of it, in the midst of me, in the midst of my capacities to handle whatever this is. Whatever, somehow, whatever we have thought before, after repeating this, reaffirming this truth to ourselves that God, the good, is omnipresent, well, somehow we begin to relax a little bit. We get calmer. Our voice gets a little bit lower, maybe, and we handle things in a much better way than we would have otherwise. And believe it or not, it turns out to be good. That's the way it turns out. It becomes another moment to give thanks. Saying those words to ourselves, God the good is omnipresent. I might not see it, but by definition, it's here. And as I have the eyes to see it, I will, and I will draw good from this. For that thought, we give thanks. Really, we don't have to look too terribly far to see people in situations that make us so grateful for whatever challenges we might have. For many years, a woman by the name of Jean Schnell worked on a unique crisis hotline. Jean developed a lot of skills working on this line, and they served her very well because they developed quick thinking in her, calm demeanor, soothing voice, and a very large dose of just plain old common sense. And she used all that. Jean was the director for Butterball Turkey's Turkey Talk Line. And she fielded questions from frantic cooks who left the giblets in the turkey, who have forgotten to thaw the pig, or poor souls, the ones who accidentally locked the turkey in the oven and turned on the self-cleaning cycle. Oh my gosh. So throughout November and December, Jean, and she had a team of people who were helping her do this, answered every conceivable question about how to cook a holiday turkey to perfection. But, you know, not all Jean's calls included klutzy or inexperienced cooks. Some were pretty awe-inspiring people. There was one woman from Florida who called up asking for some cooking advice. And in the course of the conversation, it was revealed that this woman's home had been in a hurricane, had been seriously damaged. And her husband was at that time up on the roof trying to patch some holes in it. And her children were out in the backyard trying to gather up the litter and the parts of the house that had blown off and gather them up and put them out for collection. This woman was trying to cook a turkey in her storm-battered kitchen. Jean was totally astonished that she would try to cook a Thanksgiving meal after all that she and her family had been through. But this woman replied, of course they'd celebrate Thanksgiving. They still had so much to be thankful for. Gives us pause, doesn't it? Gives us pause. How would we react in such a circumstance? We all have challenges. But if we focus our minds away from what we want and don't have to what we already have, it's so much that gratitude is surprisingly easy, and we can generate that wonderful feeling. We can express that feeling of Thanksgiving. There was a Newsweek story, an article way back in 1994. And it was a story about American troops who had been sent to Haiti, and that they had experienced a hurricane. We've had some very bad ones this year too. But there was a Marine colonel who'd served there, and he was quoted as saying, "The hardest part of this mission is keeping them from hugging you." Lovely way that the Haitians had of expressing their gratitude for the help that these troops were giving them, was to hug them all. I think that's lovely. What a wonderful problem to have. Believe me when I say that gratitude isn't just part of polite behavior toward family and friends and acquaintances. It isn't. Expressing thanks helps the person who's expressing it in more ways than anybody could imagine. You know, scientists have become interested in this particular subject, that is, gratitude and its effects on us. They've done lots and lots of research on this and have found out some interesting, fascinating things. What they have found out is that it benefits almost every aspect of your life. Almost every aspect. For instance, neurologists have discovered that fear and gratitude cannot exist in the brain at the same time. You know, they can rotate in and out, but they're mutually exclusive. In other words, when you're feeling gratitude, you are released and relieved of a feeling of fear, apprehension. Gratitude and appreciation are one of the highest and purest forms of love. And everybody needs to express more love, don't we? We certainly remember what it says in 1 John, God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. So when you're feeling gratitude, When you're expressing it, you are expressing God. You are expressing love. You are blessing everything and everyone that's around you. But there's more. There are health benefits with gratitude as well. These positive emotions, Thanksgiving, have lots of positive results. They can repair cardiovascular damage, repair your heart. You can reduce cardiovascular distress, like lowering blood pressure and decreasing your heart rate, and actually creating a smoother, more even heart rhythm. Gratitude and appreciation expressed reduces our stress levels. You're less stressed. They can improve your digestion. They can even increase and stimulate the immune responses, the immune activities. Expressing these powerful emotions increases our energy. We sleep better. It adds years to our lives. And doesn't everybody love to be around somebody who is appreciative, thankful? Yeah. For instance, try thanking God for the good things that happen to you just before you go to sleep at night. Pick through them as you're trying to relax and let go and everything. Do that. Thank Him, and you will find that you sleep better, you'll sleep longer, and you'll wake happier. Try it. Prove me wrong. Prove me right. You will certainly be more productive the next day because you got a good night's sleep, and you woke up in a good mood. Grateful people routinely report fewer aches and pains than other people. Socially, wow. Expressing thanks to people makes them feel more positive toward you. They see you as kinder. They see you as a person they want to be around. It generates more and deeper friendships, and of course it also helps make marriages healthier. In fact, gratitude brings out the most positive parts of our personalities. You're certainly less self-centered because you're focusing on other people. You find that you're a more cheerful person. Your self-esteem rises when you're grateful. And so does your optimism. In fact, it's been proven countless times that keeping a gratitude journal, that is just a little notebook where you write down all the positive things that have happened, is one of the most dynamically helpful things that you can do for yourself. 5 minutes every day, at night maybe, before bed. You write down the things that you're grateful for that have happened during that day, and it can improve every aspect of your life. Now, this has been proved true because these people were asked to do this. They did do this. That is, keep a gratitude journal. And they were college students all the way up to chronically ill adults. It helped them all. So it had nothing to do with age or health or anything else. It helped them all. We can remember that wonderful spiritual law, like attracts like. The more we practice gratitude, the more that we're going to attract into our lives for which to be grateful. And most important, gratitude brings us so much closer to God. It brings it into mind all the time. Looking for and seeing that good, that divine activity right where we are, absolutely improves our spiritual lives. You just feel a deeper connection with your Creator. How could it not? How could it not? My talk today was entitled, Grateful? What for? And of course, I've given you the answer, what for, several times already. It comes right out of the mouth of Paul of Tarsus. In everything, give thanks. This Thursday, as well as Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, this Thursday, practice gratitude. Shall we go within? And still ourselves. Hopefully, as we sit here, we're not in pain. We have transportation here. Our tummies are very full if we participated in the delicious breakfast we had before church. There are many people who love us. There are a number of people who depend on us. There are a number of people on whom we depend. But let us remember first and foremost that one for whom we depend, or on whom we depend the most. This one giving, loving, omnipresent, wise, powerful, inspired presence that has never left us and never will, never can, who is always available for this one above all others. We give deepest thanks. Amen.
Amen.
This is a gratitude chant, and it's very repetitive, so it's easy to sing along, and you should do that. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. I'm grateful for the sunshine. I'm grateful for the rain. I'm grateful for the laughter. I'm grateful for the pain. Even in the face of apathy, I know I have to care. 'Cause what I take for granted is someone else's prayer. So thank you for this day. I wanna thank you for this day. I wanna thank you for this day. Lord, thank you for this day. I wanna this healing, this healing, this healing. this healing, this healing day, this healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, thank you for this day, Christ. Thank you for this day, Lord, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Lord, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Wednesday night, if you want to have a pre-Thanksgiving barbecue dinner, I'm playing at Bad Wolf Barbecue on Williamson, and you can take a flyer if you want.
Thank you, Joy. Thank everyone. It's a wonderful day of worship, and you all have yourselves and ourselves to thank for that. Let's continue that attitude of gratitude with our blessing of the gifts now. Today, I acknowledge God, omnipresent, as the source of all good, as the source of all good. With this acknowledgement, I accept His will, which is abundance in every aspect of my life. I release all thoughts of lack and limitation, and I am open and receptive to the increased flow of abundance to me right now. I joyfully accept the gifts of life and give freely of the special gift that I am. Through me, God omnipresent blesses and multiplies this gift for all. Thank you, dear God.
Like to take a slip of paper and pray for someone through this week, blessing you as well as blessing them. Thank you. Now, would each of you say to the other people close to you, thank you for your gift to God's Word. Thank you for your gift to God's Word. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your gift. Thank you. Thank you.
Is everybody still awake after eating breakfast? I was watching kids back there. It was great breakfast. Thanks for everybody that participated, and whether you bought anything or not. It was delicious. It was plenty of food. There's still some left over there, so if you want to take something home, feel free to do so. We don't like anything to go to waste. Also, thanks everybody that bought cookies. I'm sure we made more than our 20 dozen for tonight. I'll be taking them over later, so thank you so much for doing that. The ecumenical service is tonight at 7 p.m. at the Brethren at Oak Grove. That's the one right behind BB&T Bank?
Right.
Right, okay. And you are going to be doing something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still don't know, but something.
Well, okay, well, it's going to be a surprise, y'all. So I hope some of you or all of you can come to that. It's always a good service. It's like 4 different churches in the area that participate in this, and so we never have it at this church because we're not large enough. Maybe one day we will be, but we provide the cookies and stuff when they ask us to, so I hope that all of you can go do that. Also, coming up Thursday, as you know, it's Thanksgiving Day. I know a lot of people are going to be traveling and a lot of people will be spending with family, but there's going to be also a family dinner here for the people that didn't want to go anywhere else, or they want to be among their church family. The dinner is going to be at 2:30. Bob is cooking the turkey and dressing, and everybody else is bringing something. If you have signed up, see Ann here, she has the list as to what people are bringing. And if you haven't signed up and you still want to come, that's okay too. That's never too late. You can show up that day and not bring anything, that's fine too. So it'll be at 2:30 and it'll last as long as they want to be here. So there will be no Thursday night happy chat class that night because everybody's going to be happy chatting.
No Wednesday class.
No Wednesday meditation class, but there will be Wednesday coffee house night. So because we have to laugh before Thanksgiving Day. So anyhow, so no meditation class, no happy chat, but there will be Wednesday night going on at the coffee house. Let's see, I got lots of notes here. As you know, we all voted for the Christmas Eve service because Christmas Eve is on Sunday. And so everybody voted to have the regular time at 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve, which is Sunday, but we will have the candlelight service at 11 o'clock. I know it's confusing to people, but it will be at 11 a.m. on Christmas Eve. We'll be announcing that as the month goes on. We've got lots of things to do before that. We have a weekend where we're going to decorate the tree, then we've got the Christmas party coming up, and that's going to be fun. If you missed the Halloween party, stay tuned for the Christmas party. So anyhow, we've got lots of things coming up, and I'll be announcing more about that. I also wanted to let you know that I just found out this morning that Pam Coppock's back in the hospital with the flare-up with her COPD, so I ask that you keep her in prayer. I'll be talking to her after church and see. Usually she stays 2 or 3 days, so I'll find out what's going on with that and let you know. Also, as you know, we had been collecting money to bring EJ to church with the taxi, and that because of an event that happened, the taxi won't bring her anymore. So we need a CNA, and Pam Woods has agreed to bring her on the Sundays that she doesn't work. And we are taking the money that we were going to give to the cab, and we're going to pay Pam, which is only fair to do that. So we appreciate you doing that, Pam. It's a big help to us and to EJ, so we really appreciate you doing that. And if anybody knows of a CNA that's willing to work a couple of the other Sundays that Pam can't be here, let me know, or let EJ or Pam know, so we can maybe get her here on all the Sundays. Also, as you know, Joy, I like to help you out. She has a new CD. She didn't announce today, but she announced it the last time she was here. And some of you bought it, some of you didn't, but I listened to it on the way to church this morning. And if you have an opportunity and you want to buy one, I'm sure she probably has some available today. So anyhow, she has great music, and thank you for being here again today. I think, let's see. Oh, today's flowers are for Laurel, and provided by Ann for Laurel's birthday. I think they're both over here in the other room somewhere. So anyhow, happy birthday to Laurel, which is coming up in another week or so. Okay, I think that's all I've got. And we're going to have communion before we have the last hymn. That wasn't in the order of service day.
As you all probably know by now, since you've been around for a while, one doesn't have to be a member or prepare for our communion service in any special way. There are several meanings to the word communion. One meaning is to share, and the other to receive. As when two people share, they both give and receive from one another, they commune. This morning, though, during communion, the person you will share with the most will be the person who stands on your right. In our communion service, we look into their eyes, and for this special Thanksgiving event, we say, I am grateful for the Christ in you. I'm grateful for the Christ in you. And then gently put a piece of bread, that's been dipped in grape juice into their mouth. I'm grateful for the Christ in you means that I look past that outer human appearance to an inner dimension that isn't visible with the eyes, but is your true self, the eternal, powerful, loving self, inner self, made in God's image and likeness. I am grateful for you and your part in our world today. And we are. We're grateful for one another. Today we use the symbols of bread and grape juice because they are the ancient symbols of sharing and participation and fellowship. But most of all, we celebrate our ability to participate with and have fellowship with each other. And most especially with God Himself, who knows every one of us, who loves every one of us unconditionally, and who is always with us to help. Now, shall we make fun of me, sir? They will go first.
I prefer the Christ.
I'm supposed to say thank you.
Well, I'll beat you to the punch.
That's left, right with you, this is the person to your right.
To your right.
So they're all to the left.
So you go that way.
No, I'll do it for you again.
Okay.
Start it off. You should have done it.
We should start down at this end. We know what we're doing.
You're speaking about the rest of the country. It's still the first to the left.
This is good for me again.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Yeah.
I did it all wrong.
That's okay.
Messed up.
Whoever.
So
I am
we're
grateful
gonna
for the
go
Christ
left
in
now.
you.
Oh, wait, now I need to do it to her.
Hi. Oh, wait, we forgot her. She needs to do Pam.
Okay, so you're going to do it for her then.
Oh, okay. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for.
No,
Oh,
her.
We'll get it right after a while.
I am so grateful. Oh, for the Christ in you.
Go to Becky, and she's gonna, yes.
Now we
Right,
go.
there we go.
Um,
She's gonna give it to you.
Let's just go this
You
way.
get it twice.
Yeah.
Go. Okay.
Well, why don't we just turn and go the other way?
Yay, now we got it.
I'm grateful for the Christ in you. Bob, I'm grateful for Christ in you.
I'm grateful for the Christ in you.
I want that one.
Little censure.
I'm grateful for the Christ in you.
Oh, you're. I'm grateful for the Christ in you. Yes. And I'm grateful for the Christ in you. Thank you all so much. Wait, let's stay where we are. Let's stay where we are because we're going to say a final blessing.
That's it.
Yeah. We don't have a final hymn.
Sit down.
That's over with.
Stand back up again.
All right. We're going to do our last.
Oh, it's on the wall. It's on the wall?
It will be. Hopefully.
While this is fading into existence, Friday after next, I will be at 419 West during the day for that great national holiday that should be circled on your calendar, the 2nd of December.
Is that your birthday?
And on the true 2nd, I will be at Itchabon right across the street that night. So those who don't make it then, can make it then. Let all things now living, all 4 verses on the wall. Please stand if you're able. You already are. Let's go.
All things are living